2025 Major League Soccer season up and going this weekend. Where has the time gone? Tommy G, our good buddy from Cincinnati, rivalry between the New York Red Bulls and FC Cincinnati developing a lot over the course of the last couple of years since the blue and orange came into the league. And it's a very different looking team, Tom,
Yeah,
what we saw at the end part of last year. Would have never thought no more Lucho Acosta, but that is the case.
right.
But some new players and some new excitement coming in for you guys.
Yeah, there's no question. And look, tough end to last year. There's no question. Any way you cut it, not the way that anybody wanted the season to end. And then, as we talked about Wednesday night during the broadcast against Motagua, we signed off the air, and then you start to check social media, and you see the post, and Lucho's saying how he may have just played his last game for FC Cincinnati, and I'm literally staring at my phone, going, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And obviously, the way it played out, sometimes these endings of player tenures, relationships, everything in life, right, is messier than anybody would have liked. But good situation for him. He goes to Dallas. Good situation for FC Cincinnati. With the incoming fee, and then the dominoes start to fall for everybody. And Evander lands in Cincinnati. Obviously, he had an amazing year last year with the Timbers, MVP finalist in Major League Soccer. A goal scorer, a goal setter upper, in the way that he passes the ball. And then already the signing that was announced right after that loss to New York City because of the goal scoring woes within a week of the season ending, you found out about Kevin Denke, a prolific young goal scorer that's going to come in and join this team. And then a dream situation, I think, Wednesday night in both of them getting a goal. As I've done some interviews leading up to the start of the season, I've said, look, you don't want either of those guys to have one of those droughts, even if it's 3 or 4 games where they start to press a little bit and start to think too much about how they're going to get that first goal for the new team. And both of them get one down in Honduras on Wednesday night. And I thought the team played really, really well, considering that they didn't really get much time altogether during the preseason.
When you think of it, Tom, the changes with players coming in, players coming out, that's something that every team deals with in Major
Yeah.
League Soccer. For Cincinnati, even though it's a short turnaround, and I would say Pat Noonan went with a pretty first choice lineup the other night in that CONCACAF game. Maybe a tweak here or there going
Right.
into what we'll see on Saturday. But I always liked going back to a span where Red Bull was in that CONCACAF Champions League thing for 3, 4 years in a row, like playing that early game and figuring it out a little bit, I think is a
Right.
little bit of an advantage for Cincinnati on Saturday.
Yeah, it may be. They also then had obviously a long trip back yesterday from Honduras. So just one day today to prepare on the pitch for New York. Does that really make a factor at this point in the year? It's hard to tell, right? We'll see some different guys out there for the Red Bulls than we're used to seeing. When this match takes place Saturday night at TQL Stadium. So there'll be question marks, I think, both ways. But yeah, I think it does. It gives you a full blow match to get out there, play 90 minutes, figure some things out, tweak your lineup a little bit here for this match would be my guess. And then, see what happens and try to start on a high note.
When you think of it, and I don't know if you've had an opportunity to really catch up with them about it, a player like Evander, right? Super
Yeah.
talented. You mentioned great year last year in Portland. Have you had a chance to maybe ask him a question around this? Hey, do you realize you're coming in and replacing one of the better players in Major
Yeah.
League Soccer and a guy that has basically been a legend for your team since coming in?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, Lucho felt like the type of player that was going to be the first one to have a statue if he finishes his career in orange and blue. I don't think there's any question about that. MVP candidate last year, certainly the MVP winner the year before. And I thought it was, without question in 2023 when FC Cincinnati won the Supporter Shield. So, yeah, no, I think it's large shoes to fill, certainly in that regards. I think he understands it, but I think he's up for the task. I mean, again, being a finalist for MVP last year, his play speaks for himself. He's a couple years younger, a little more size than Lucho, and certainly not by any means identical players in their style. So we'll see a little bit different in what you get from Evander compared to Lucho. But I think, look, these top athletes thrive off some of that pressure of coming in and being expected to be the man, to be the top player, to be the MVP, to dominate in this league. And while I haven't had the chance, we have our first media availability with him today because, of course, the team was in Florida. He reported, it was announced straight to Honduras for the match against Motagua. And so he'll be introduced formally to the local media today, which will be the first opportunity to talk to him. So I'll be interested to see if that comes up. But I feel like these guys thrive on pressure and wouldn't be surprised if that was his answer.
Any question, Tom? Finish with this one. Back line for Cincinnati. Feeling like that's solid, or there's some question marks back there early in the season?
I think in the end, it's going to be very solid. I think it's a little thin to start the season. New Jersey's native son, Matt Miazga, still not available. The hope was that he was going to be available at this point in his rehab, had a little bit of a setback, so he's still a week or two away from getting involved into match action. He's been in with the group at times. Nick Hagglund, remember, who was also serious injury last year, he's a couple weeks away. So two of your veteran pieces on the back line are not there. Miles Robinson is, though, and he is healthy and in form and wore the captain's armband for the match. I thought Alvis Powell was fantastic playing as center back, and obviously he's not a natural center back, but we've seen him slot into that role a couple times over the last few years. You have Teenage Hadebe, who had a preseason knock, working his way back to fitness, played 45 minutes. So I think he'd be a candidate maybe to slot in as a starting role. They started a FCC2 player in Noah Adnan, who played 45 minutes, and Teenage finished the match with the final 45 on Wednesday night. So I think, and then Gilberto Flores, the youngster who comes in, U22 initiative, came in and played a few minutes at the end of the match. So he was late in the camp as well. So they're trying to get him integrated into the group. But look at the next 2 weeks. Is it a little thin tomorrow night? I think the answer is yes. In 2 to 3 weeks, when Matt gets back, and then Nick will probably be a week behind him in coming back, and then you're getting Gilberto in and he's fully fit, and Teenage is fully fit, then all of a sudden it may be, again, one of the most formidable back lines in all of Major League Soccer.
Tommy, appreciate you giving us a couple minutes. I know always busy with a game for you on Wednesday and now on Saturday. Look forward to seeing you in person tomorrow, catching up and getting this season up and going.
All right, we'll have the heat on in the booth for you. Can't wait to see you, and certainly look forward to it, kicking off another season.